So we're going to start right at the very beginning with the basics here. Now this stuff, I'm more than happy to admit, took me longer to work out than perhaps it should have done. And perhaps there's advanced players out there who this hasn't clicked for either. The concept's really simple. You take the notes of your key signature. In this case, all our examples are going to be in C major, so that's all the natural notes, no sharps or flats. And you compare them to the notes of the chord that's causing you any problems. If there's any differences, any discrepancies between the notes of the chord and the notes of the scale, the chord wins. For example, if you have an F sharp in your chord, but your scale, like in C major, is supposed to have F naturals, you will play all the notes of C major, but you will raise that F up to an F sharp. All of a sudden, your scale's going to work. This is just step one, guys. This is not going to start to create some really outside sounds, but what this is going to do for you is, if you're one of those players, there's a lot of blues rock players who are like this, who are very used to playing, for example, the pentatonic stuff with a few extra notes shoved in there. And then there's always just that one chord that catches you out. This is your solution. So you need to just pick up your pen and paper for a moment, work out the notes of your scale, work out the notes of your chord, and compare them. Let's look at some examples. We've got the notes of C major here. C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. Like I said, no sharps or flats. Example number 2, this has got no clashes whatsoever. You're going to hear this sounds absolutely fine. The notes of the scale are always working over those chords. You can see, just looking at this example, that there are no accidentals, no sharps or flats, and it's going to sound great. Example number 3 here, we've started to introduce an accidental. So this is in bar 2, D7. The notes of D7 are D, F sharp, A and C. Well, we know that our scale doesn't have an F sharp in it. The chord wins, so we take the F from the major scale and we raise it up to an F sharp. And we're going to hear now that it sounds great. I've done an over-the-top example. You can see these chords are horrendous. They don't sound great. That wasn't the point. I was just trying to illustrate the method that we're using here. Bar 1's got a G sharp in it. Well, we know there's no G sharp in C major. So what we're going to do, the chord wins. So we're going to put a G sharp in our scale. And importantly, we're going to omit the G natural. We're going to replace the G natural with a G sharp. Bar 2, D sharp diminished chord here. We've got D sharps and F sharps. So again, the scale is going to be changed. Bar 3, E flats. The scale is going to be changed. We're going to use E flats instead of E naturals. And bar 4, C7. We've got a B flat in that, so we're going to lower the B of our C major scale. I've written this as a continuous scale exercise, not quite as modal as the other ones, but you're going to hear how nicely and smoothly all of these scales run together. Next step, we're going to work out, right, we know the correct notes now, how do we make it sound jazzy? That's outside notes. Cheers.